Hey yo, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Chad bringing y'all another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys a video that I saw on YouTube of a nurse recording her conversation as she's fired for not taking the vaccine. And so yeah, after I play the video, I'll just give you guys my 2 cents. And then yeah, I just want to talk about this video. I just thought it was a crazy video, you feel me? But as always, let's roll the video.
Are we terminated? Is that what you said?
No.
Eddie, you said we're terminated?
Pardon?
Did you say that we were terminated?
Your access has been denied.
Are we
And
terminated?
yes, ma'am, you are.
So you're firing us.
Effective 9/1. You are off payroll effective 9/1.
Are you firing us?
I will not answer your specific questions. I have told you what I'm going to
But I
do.
have not quit. So am I being fired?
You are being terminated.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Hey, Allie.
Hey.
So, what are you trying to do? Are
Well-
you trying to get logged on to a computer, or
I was gonna pick up some shifts and stuff. I just stopped to talk to her.
so you do not work here anymore? Sarah Beth had this conversation with you in detail. You talked to HR yesterday.
I did not quit and I was not fired. There's no other option. There are only
So-
two options. I have not quit and I have not received a termination letter.
You're gonna have to leave. We need your badge, and we need you to leave.
No. Under what? On what grounds?
You do not want this to get ugly.
On what grounds do you have?
We're gonna ask that you do the right thing and you leave right now.
No, you guys chose not to do the right thing by not giving us a choice.
Who are you working? You're
Hi.
here. You're here.
I am here.
Okay.
I was not able to clock in this morning.
She didn't get the vaccine either.
And you didn't do the vaccine either?
No, sir.
Okay.
And I was not terminated. I did not quit.
You guys keep
So-
saying we chose, but you gave us no choice. There was no choice. You guys took it away. There,
No,
we
there was a choice.
did not quit. Okay, so
There was a choice.
okay,
You
so
chose
then
not to
so
take
then
the
fire
vaccine
us.
and you didn't.
So then fire us.
So I'm the director of security, and under my authority, I need both your ID badges.
I need
right
my
now.
termination letter.
I need your ID badges right now. This doesn't have to go this way. You can cooperate or you cannot.
You don't have any grounds to
I
say
do
that.
have grounds.
No, you don't.
You're videoing right now. I know
Yeah, I
that you are.
am.
She is.
I am. Because you guys have no grounds to do this. You're saying do the right thing, so you know I'm in the right.
I'm asking
You have
to
no
leave
legal-
in a professional manner.
I'm
You
not
have
though.
to get
I will
HR
not leave in a professional
You don't
manner.
have my permission to record. I'm going to press.
Can work through a whole pandemic with no vaccine. Brave. God will forgive me. Because I'm being forced to do this.
Why are we not talking about natural immunities?
It should not be forced upon us to either vaccinate or lose our livelihood.
We do not consent!
Give us our right to say no.
Alright, man, so you saw that. You heard that, as that boy ABL likes to say. But I'm just sitting up here looking at this video, and you know, the first thing that comes to mind, man, is like last year's heroes, who were the nurses, the doctors, all that, are now this year's people being demonized for not taking the vaccine. Now, last time I checked, last year, in 2020, when we were all going through this, there was no vaccine. And they were able to help people perfectly fine. They were able to keep their jobs perfectly fine. But fast forward to this year, now that there's a vaccine, they're not able to keep their jobs. They're being fired and everything like that. And in the video, you know, the girl, it's like, yo, I'm not going anywhere. You know, you guys never provided me a termination letter. I went to clock in. I couldn't clock in. And one of the other nurses, you know, is talking, and she's like, you need to leave because you don't want this to get ugly. And it's like, yo, who is she talking to, dog? Who is she talking to? You don't want this to get ugly? Is that a threat? Yo, they're wilding. They're wilding at these nurses, right? Then they're like, you know, I did not quit. I did not get fired. You guys are just not allowing me to clock in, not allowing me to pick up extra shifts, everything like that. And it's only because they did not take the vaccine, right? It's like the people are saying, oh, you guys had a choice. and you just decided not to choose or do the right thing. And that's how they always frame it, right? Just do the right thing. How is this the right thing? Because last year, when they didn't have the vaccine, the right thing was to just continue doing their job. This year, there's a vaccine, and all of a sudden, when they don't follow it, they're not doing the right thing. And that's not a choice. You can't say that this is a choice when you're firing people because they didn't take it. It's not like they said, okay, guys, for you all to work here, you have to get the vaccine or else you're fired. They said, you didn't get it, so you are fired. There was no choice. And that's what they were making it, that's what the nurses were saying, like, this is not a choice. And, at the very end, like I'm saying, she said she worked through a whole pandemic, no vaccine. They were considered brave. They were considered, just the go-to people, the number ones. They're saving the day. And now they've just been demonized. And it's like I said in my previous video, the demonization of the unvaccinated is coming. And it's here. They're being demonized left and right, man. And you also saw at the end, the other nurses were like, why are we not talking about natural immunity? This vaccine also shouldn't be forced on people. Like, people need to have the right to choose. It's everybody's right to basically make their own decision for themselves. And that's what we all been saying, right? I get the whole vaccine, everything like that. But when you have studies like that have come out like, oh, if you have caught COVID, recovered from COVID, you now have a 13 times more immunity towards getting COVID a second time than someone who's had the first and second shots. And so it's like, we're not talking about natural immunity of people who had it and are recovered, because it's a 99.9% recovery rate. But we are going to talk about firing nurses for not taking the vaccine. Now, let me just ask y'all something, right? Okay, if they say the hospitals are so overrun with COVID patients, right? And they're short on staff and stuff, how are they firing nurses for not being vaccinated, but they're that overstaffed? So what they're telling me is they're not really have that many COVID patients because they're firing the nurses who can help take care of them, vaccine or not. You feel me? Then I also, in a previous video showed about 75 doctors or nurses walked out of the hospital protesting that too many unvaccinated are taking up all the room in ICU beds. And it's like, if it's that many people in the ICU beds that need to be treated, how do y'all have time for 75 of y'all to do a walkout and protest against the people who haven't had the vaccine? If COVID's going that crazy, but you can fire the people who are there to help treat the COVID patients, is COVID really that crazy? And this goes back to just like in the beginning of the year when we saw nurses saying, the hospitals are so overrun. There's too many people with COVID who haven't been vaccinated, and they're doing TikTok dances. And it's like, y'all can't keep pushing. Like, at this point, the veil's been lifted. You can't keep saying that this stuff is happening when the complete opposite is going on, right? COVID's taking over the hospitals. It's no ICU beds left for anybody else, but yet you're firing nurses for not being vaccinated. Nurses are doing TikTok dances instead of helping the sick. Doctors are staging walkouts and protesting the amount of unvaccinated in ICU beds, but aren't helping the unvaccinated that are in the ICU beds. Like, I'm sitting up here looking at it and I'm just like, are the hospitals overrun with COVID patients or are they not? Because you're firing the people who would literally help you. Then when you're short-staffed, you're going to say, we don't have enough staff because you fired them all due to them not being vaccinated. But you're claiming that the hospitals are overrun due to people not being vaccinated. Like, at this point, man, they have to make it make sense. And I personally, I can't put the dots together because it's like, okay, people pulling up to a restaurant, right? And the restaurant is overrun by people who are super hungry, but yet you're going to fire all the chefs because they forgot their aprons for the day. Does that even make sense? And I know this analogy is not the best, but like, you have a restaurant, it's super packed, and you need cooks, but you're firing the cooks because they forgot their apron, or they just didn't want to wear an apron. So they didn't wear an apron, but you're going to fire the cooks for not wearing an apron. But then you're going to say the restaurant's overrun because we don't have enough cooks. But yet you're firing them. The hospitals are overrun with COVID, but we're going to fire the people that are supposed to help with the overrun hospitals because they're not vaccinated. Y'all see how dumb this is getting? And this, and like, as I'm looking at this, you know, it goes even deeper than this, because people are already having to make the choice between their jobs and COVID vaccines. They have to make their decision between feeding their family and these vaccines. And when I'm looking down the line, I'm like, this is the precursor to the mark. Because if they're already making you choose between your livelihood or freedom, those who go with their livelihood, they're slowly being conditioned to just accept the mark that's coming. Whereas the people who are like, freedom, I value freedom more, even if I have to lose my job. Like the nurse at the end who was like, you know, I was last year's hero. Like, I worked through the whole pandemic last year and was brave, you feel me? Like, I was the heroes of the pandemic. And she's crying because she's having to make that choice between her livelihood or freedom. And so she chooses freedom. And to be honest, I would too. You know, no matter how they spin the block on me, I would choose freedom. And, you know, she also was like, you know, God will forgive her. God's not going to. She did nothing wrong in the eyes of God. Even though I'm not God, she didn't do anything wrong. You feel me? She did what she had to do, the right choice. Yes, it was a hard choice because you saw in the video she was crying, everything like that. But when it's time for the mark, you know, either you choose your livelihood in buying and selling, or you go with God's way. And like it says, he's always going to make a way out for you. So you'll be good, even not taking the mark, you feel me? But will people truly trust God, or will they trust the system that's here? But the only thing about the mark is, once you choose the mark, it's basically like you have pledged allegiance to the system, the beast system, and not pledged your allegiance to God. Anyways, man, I just wanted to show y'all this video, just because I was like, yeah, like, they're not making it make sense, you feel me? Last year's heroes are now this year's demonized people. The vaccine's causing people to lose their jobs. There are a lot of people having to make a decision right now, and I just want everybody to put on the mind of Christ and make a decision that you think, you know, would be most beneficial. Whether it's you caving in now or you fighting now. And like, you can cave in now and cave in later, or you can stand up and fight now and still be fighting later. You feel me? It's better to fight than me than just go out. You feel me? Just take whatever's coming. But yeah, man, leave your comments down below if y'all have any. Let me know what you guys think. You already know where I stand. I'm like, yeah, this is the precursor to the mark. We're demonizing the unvaccinated even heavier. And it's just gotten a little out of control to me, man. But yeah, it's been your boy Chad. Leave a comment down below. And I'm out. Peace.